Olympics is, yeah, I guess my biggest passion.
Meet Ron Isbell. Over the years, he's put in a lot of miles. Ron has traveled the continents to attend arguably the world's greatest sporting event. Not once, but over and over.
I guess you could call me an Olympics fanatic.
A fanatic because he's attended, well, we asked him how many.
So the Olympics I've attended: 1988 Calgary Winter Olympics, 1996 Atlanta Summer Olympics, 2000 Sydney Summer Olympics, 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympics. These are just generic Coca-Cola pins, but people love the Coca-Cola with the rings.
2004 Athens Summer Olympics, 2006 Torino, Italy Winter Olympics.
I remember in Torino, Italy, for the 2006 Olympics, in a window of one of the pizza shops was an American pizza. It was labeled American Pizza, and it had hot dogs and French fries on it.
Come on now, that's just not right. Okay, Ron, continue with the list.
2008 Beijing Summer Olympics, 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics. So we've got Vancouver pins here. Here's Athens 2004, 2012 London Summer Olympics, 2014 Sochi, Russia Winter Olympics. And these are some of my favorite ones. Got the Sochi with the snow globe, and some of these Sochi that moves, hockey player moves. 2016 Rio Summer Olympics, and 2018 Pyeongchang, South Korea Winter Olympics.
If you were counting along with me, that's a dozen. Ron was all set for Tokyo in 2021. He'd already started collecting memorabilia.
These are the Hot Wheels cars that they issued for Tokyo. There's 10 different cars.
But the COVID-19 restrictions kept fans out of the stands. So Ron set his sights on 2022 and his all-time favorite Olympic experience, China. He bought his plane tickets back in June.
Yeah, definitely my favorite Olympics was Beijing in 2008.
Now it appears the ongoing pandemic will keep him from going back.
When the Tokyo Games came around, I wasn't able to go to that, and I thought, well, definitely I'll still be able to go to Beijing. And I had such a good experience in 2008. I was really looking forward to 2022.
You're probably wondering, how did Ron Isbell, a regular guy from just outside Dallas, Texas, develop such a passion for the Olympics? It was quite literally luck.
Well, then a local radio station had a contest, and the 95th caller one morning won a trip to the 1988 Calgary Olympics.
Yep, Ron was the caller.
I had just started my new job about 2 weeks before I won the trip. I had started working at Lockheed Martin, and I'd been there 2 weeks, and then I win this trip for 10 days. I had to go in and ask for 10 days off.
He got the time off without pay, and after Calgary, Ron was hooked. He says there may be more people who have attended more Olympic Games, but he doesn't think there's anybody who has gone to more events. In Rio, he went to 33, and his all-time favorite moment was in Beijing in 2008, watching Usain Bolt win gold twice.
When he ran the 200 meters and the 100 meters, I've got sequential pictures of all the runners coming down the track, running towards me, and then him crossing the line with the clock stopped on the side.
When it comes to a coveted ticket, there's one event that trumps them all: the opening ceremonies. It's the hardest ticket to get. Ron has been to 8. In 2008 in Beijing, he stood for hours outside the stadium holding a sign in Mandarin and English, hoping to score a ticket.
And of course, no one had an extra ticket, but I think about 200 people probably took pictures with me.
2 years later in Vancouver, his luck turned. His opening ceremony ticket never showed up in the mail, so again, Ron found himself holding a sign.
For about 2 or 3 hours before the opening ceremonies, I stood outside and was trying to get an extra ticket. Well, a Russian TV station came up and was interviewing me. A woman walks by and sees that, hands me a level A ticket for free, a $1,200 ticket.
She took pity on the man with the sign
that said 2002 Olympic torch relay runner needs one ticket, please help.
You caught that, right? 2002 Olympic torch relay runner. Before the Salt Lake City Games, 12,000 people were chosen to carry the torch across the U.S. Ron was selected for his charitable work and carried the torch in his hometown.
So here's the 2002 Olympic torch that I received for being part of the torch relay when it came through Arlington, Texas on the way to Salt Lake City. The torch weighs about 3 or 4 pounds, so you have to hold it up above your head. And so I was kind of nervous, you know, that I don't slip. And here's a picture of me running around the ballpark where the Texas Rangers play, holding the Olympic torch. That was before digital cameras, so I bought about 30 disposable cameras, and there was probably 200 friends that were stationed along the 400 yards where I was going to be running, and passed out the cameras to different friends so they would take pictures of me.
Every Olympics has a story, a memory, memorabilia.
So this is the sweater from Sochi that the U.S. athletes wore in the opening ceremonies, and I was able to buy one after the games. And I remember when these came out, I thought how ugly they were, but now I really like it with all the patchwork and the Olympic rings and the 2014.
You likely guessed it by now that Ron is a huge collector of Olympic pins. He's got thousands.
It was at the Calgary Olympics, and I was at a hockey game, and this big Russian man came up to me and says, "Trade Russian hockey pins?" And I was so excited, you know, to get Russian pins at the time. These are the NBC pins that I was able to trade with from some NBC executives.
Ron landed Dow Chemical pins in London before the trade was halted.
Their tour guide that came over was British, and she saw what was happening, and she was trying to get them to stop trading with me because she thought I was taking advantage of them.
Ron's collection is really a journey through nearly a quarter century of Olympic history.
So I've got here part of my Olympic collection. I've got pins from various games. I've got jacket from Sochi, jacket from Calgary 1988, hats from 4 different Olympics, shirts, sweat tops, sweaters.
Ron had hoped to add to those memories in Beijing, but his hope is fading.
The last Olympics I went to was 2018, Pyeongchang, and little did I know it'd be 6 years before I could go to the next Olympics, 2024 in Paris.
By the way, I'm sure you're wondering, Ron has gone to every Olympics since the first, Calgary, alone. His then girlfriend left her purse on the train, and it took an entire day to find the police station where it had been turned in.
That's kind of my joke. After that, I decided, well, I'll just go to the Olympics by myself.